Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Fit Studio. My name is Lauren, and I'm going to be taking you through a full body sculpt class on the reformer using the Pilates ring. So I'm going to have you guys start on one blue spring, one red spring. That is a heavy and a medium spring today. And grab your ring. We're going to start lying all the way down. Foot bar is all the way up, and your head rest is going to be all the way flat. I'm going to start you guys with some bridging to warm up today. So your hands are on the squishy outside part of the ring. You're going to give it a mini squeeze and your feet are hip width apart. Heels are on the foot bar. We're in a neutral spine to begin with. You're going to take an inhale here. And then on your exhale, tuck the pelvis. Let's melt the spine all the way up into a bridge. Take an inhale at the top. And then exhale, melt it down. Warming up the spine here. If you feel like you're into the shoulder rest a little bit too much, scoot back a little bit so you're not pressing your shoulder blades too far down and melting it back down. Whew, guys, we're working the entire body today, guys. Starting off with some hamstring and glutes. Inhale, lowering down, adding on some inner thighs as well today because, you got to do some inner thighs with that magic ring. And melt it down. Good. We're here for another 5 more bridges, just at your own pace. Think about really pulling that carriage in, heels to glutes, squeezing and tucking the pelvis at the top, and slowly melting from the upper, mid, lower back, and tailbone. For 4. Reaching those knees over the foot bar. For 3. Good. We've got 2 more here. 1 more here. Let's tuck the pelvis, lift those hips all the way up and hold. Good. You're going to give me 10 little squeezes of that ring for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep squeezing the glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold that squeeze of the ring. Little pulses up an inch, down an inch with those hips for 10, 9. Keep pulling that carriage into the stopper. 8. Toes are pointed up. 7 and 6. 4, 5, and 4, in 3, 2. Let's hold those hips up. Inhale, press the carriage out. Hamstring curl as you pull that carriage in. Good. So you want to press that carriage out as far as you can, keeping a micro bend in the knees. Inhale, exhale, pull in. Good. For 8. Keeping those hips hovered, lifting them higher as you pull the carriage in. For 6. Nice and slow and controlled, squeezing those glutes, keeping that pelvis tucked. For 5. Staying with that breath, we're here for another 3. In 2. 1 more here, lengthen those legs. Draw that carriage all the way in, hit that stopper, and then melt the spine all the way down. Whew, lovely, guys. You're now going to grab that ring, bring those legs through the ring, and then place the padded part of the ring onto your outer thighs. When we're ready, we're going to go into a hinge bridge now, so your feet are still hip width apart, flexing through the feet, your toes are up towards the sky. We're going to exhale, bring those hips all the way up, squeeze those glutes, go out and in 1 time with those knees, hinge the hips back down. Exhale, lift those hips up, hold, abduct those knees out, in, hinge it down. Exhale, shoot those hips up, abduct, out, in, hinge it down, hinge it up. Good. For 6. Down and up. For 5. Outer glutes here for 4. Keeping that carriage still. 3 more here in 3. Hinge it down, up, into. 1 more here. Hinge it up and hold. Little abductions out, in, for 10 and 9 and 8. Double time. 7, 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, 2. Keep those knees wide. Try and break that ring for me. Little pulses up with those hips for 10, and 9, and 8, 7, 6. Pulse it up 5, pulse it up 4, in 3, and 2, and 1. Slowly melt the spine all the way down. Whew. Take those feet out, and we're going to do one more set of bridging here. We've got to do those inner thighs. This is the hardest variation for me. So bring the padded part. Sometimes it takes a second to get like the correct spot. So bring your heels now a little bit wider than hip width. The ring is in between those thighs. The padded outside part of the ring is on your inner thighs. We got this, guys. When you're ready, you're going to exhale, tuck that pelvis lift up into that bridge. Give me one pulse of the ring at the top, then melt the spine down. Good. So we're not hinging that bridge like we were before. We're back into that roll up and down with the spine. Whew, lordy me, we're here for 10. One pulse in and melt it down. Keep that carriage pulled in, guys. For 8. I always say to my clients when we do any ring inner thigh movements, I always say, if you can break the ring, you get a prize. Don't know what that prize is going to be, but you can honestly probably, the prize could be throwing the ring at me and melt it down. Have yet to had anyone break the ring yet, so it's definitely a nice little challenge for my clients at the studio. Let's do 3 more here, guys. Tuck the pelvis, melt the spine up. We're going to meet at the top of your next one here. Lift all the way up and hold. Final push, little pulses in, in, in. 4, 10. Double time. 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5. Keep that carriage pulled in. 4, 3, 2. Hold that squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Melt the spine all the way down. Pop the soles of your feet together. Just rock the knees up and down in that butterfly. Whew. And then when you're ready, pop your toes on the padded part of the ring and just go into a little hamstring stretch for me here. That should feel very, very nice to the back of the legs. Flexing through the feet if you want a little bit of extra calf stretch. Oh, yeah, this is nice. Perfect. Okay, so totally up to you with this next set. Feel free as well. Pop that headrest up. We're going to go into some single leg work here on our backs with the ring. So I'm going to stay on a red and a blue spring today. If you'd like to go a little bit heavier, pop on a white spring. If you want it even heavier than that, pop on 2 reds. You're going to have your right leg in tabletop. The ring is placed onto the right thigh, and you're holding the ring with both hands in the opposite padded position. You're on your left toes. You're going to take an exhale as you press that carriage all the way out. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, press it out. Inhale, draw it in. Good. Single leg footwork here with the ring. The ring is placed here to activate the core a little bit more, those obliques. Pointing through both feet. We're here for 10. Exhale, lengthen 8. You've got a nice neutral spine here. Your tailbone is heavy. Ribs are pulled down. Abs pull in. 5 more here. Lengthen out for 5. 3 more here. Press for 3. And 2. 1 more here. Let's lengthen out and hold. You're going to give me 1 pulse of the ring and then draw the carriage in. Exhale, press out. Hold 1 pulse. Draw it in. 7. Pulse for 6. 5 more here. Then you've got one final layer on this side for 4. Really good. 3 more here, guys, for 3. Adding a calf raise here in 2. 1 more here. Let's lengthen out and hold. Give me 1 pulse of the ring, then drop the left heel down. Lift the left heel up, and then draw the carriage in. Press the carriage out, hold. Give me 1 pulse. 1, lower and lift, and in. Final 8. Pulse, drop, lift, bend it in. Pulse, and drop, and lift. Draw it in. Beautiful for 6. And 5. Pulse, drop, lift, and in. Good for 3. In 2. 1 more here. Press it out and hold. 1 pulse, 1 lift, 1 lower. Draw that carriage halfway in. Give me 10 pulses of that carriage. 10, 9. Burn out that left thigh. 8, and 7, and 6. 5 more here for 5, and 4. 3 more in 3, and 2. Exhale, lengthen all the way out. Draw that carriage all the way in. Whew. Shake out the left foot, roll out the left ankle, and then we'll go straight over to the other side. So now you're going to place the ring on your left thigh. That left leg is in tabletop and your right toes are on the foot bar. When you're ready, you're going to press that carriage out with that right leg. Inhale, draw it in. Nice full range. We got that full leg extension of the right side. Again, that tailbone is heavy. Arms are pulling in. If anything, this is also an arm workout. My arms are burning as well as my legs. Whew. For 3, we're going to add that pulse of the ring in 2. And 1, big press out, hold. Give me 1 pulse of that ring. Draw that carriage in. Press it out, 1 pulse. And draw it in. Beautiful. Activating the left obliques now. And pulse. And in. Perfect, guys. We're here for 5. Burning out that right side. Whew, my arms, just going to lengthen them out a bit. Whew. Into pulse. 1 more here. We're going to add on that final layer. Lengthen out. Hold. Give me 1 pulse. Drop the heel. Lift the heel. Draw it in. Activating those calves a little bit more. Pulse. Drop. Lift. Whenever I do any form of calf raises in any kind of class, we don't even have to be working on calves for a long time. I am always so sore the next day. I definitely don't train my calves as much as I should. Here for another 4. Pulse. Drop. Lift. For 3. Pulse. Drop. Exhale. Lift. Inhale. Draw it in for 2. 1 more here, guys. Let's lengthen out and hold. Give me 1 pulse. Give me 1 lift and lower and hold. Draw that carriage halfway in. You got those 10 pulses for 10. And 9. And 8. Burn out that right thigh. 7. And 6. 5 more here. Tailbone stays heavy. In 4. 3 more in 3. We're going to lengthen it out in 2. Exhale, lengthen all the way out. Inhale, draw the carriage all the way in. Whew. Shake out that right side. Rock those knees side to side. And when you're ready, we're going to get all the way up. Whew. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna keep that ring. I'm just gonna redo the hair. And I'm gonna pop you guys on one blue spring. So for some arm work, some front facing arms, up to you. If you want this a little bit heavier, you can go on one blue, one white spring. I'm gonna go, or you can also go one white spring. So totally up to you. This is a bit of single arm work. Well, my words are not my words are not working right now. So a little bit of single arm work here with some oblique work. So see how you feel. If you'd prefer to go a little bit lighter, go for it. Or on that medium spring, that also works as well. So when we're ready, guys, we're going to start facing the foot bar. Your right hand has got the loop in your hand and you're on that short loop. And you are holding the ring at your chest. Your knees are hip width apart here. We're sitting back on our heels to start. This is going to feel light and then it won't in time, I promise. When you're ready, we're going to have a nice neutral spine here. Roll those shoulders back. You're going to press those arms straight forward. Inhale, bend it in. Exhale, press those arms straight forward. Inhale, draw it in. Beautiful. So if anyone has any knee issues today and you don't want to go up into a high kneeling position, that is totally fine. Feel free to stay low. You can do this whole series here in this low kneeling position. You can also do this seated too. We're here for another 3. We're going to add a high kneel into. One more here. Let's add that high kneel as you press those arms forward. Squeeze those glutes up. Inhale, bend it in. Exhale, press the arms, squeeze those glutes up. Inhale, draw it in. Good. Nice little hinge of those hips for 8. Press it out. 7. Squeeze those glutes at the top. 6. And 5 more. And press for 4. Good, guys. 3 more here. We've got 3. And 2. One more here. We're going to press it out and hold. Keep those arms nice and long. We're going to sweep that ring over to our right side. Exhale, sweep it all the way up. Bend the knees. Bring it back in. Good. So one sweep as you lift. Press it all the way up and hold. Keep those hips nice and still. Sweep it down to the side. Exhale, use those obliques to sweep yourself back up and then draw that carriage in. Even on that light spring, you should still be feeling this. And in. Exhale, press. And sweep. And lift. And draw it in. Good. Let's do 2 more here, guys. You got that final layer. Sweep it down. Sweep it up. Bend it in. One more here. Press. Lift. Sweep it down. Sweep it up and hold. Final layer. Just sweep the arm down. Keep those hips lifted and up. Sweep it down. Keep tension on that loop, on that spring. And up. For another 3. Into. One more here. Sweep it down. Sweep it up. And then bending it all the way in. Whew. Roll out those shoulders. Place that loop down. We're going to go straight over to the other side. Now grabbing that left short loop here in your left hand. Roll those shoulders back and down. This side's going to feel worse. Hate to tell you. When you're ready, let's press that arm straight forward. Bend it in. Stay in that low kneel to start. Oh my God. Oh, my right side is burning. And press. Even though there's no weight on the right side, we're still moving the arm back and forth. So even though there's no resistance, there kind of is still. Exhale, press, sweep. Let's do 4 more here, then we'll add on that high kneel. Into. In one. All right, guys, you got it. Let's add that high kneel. Press the arms forward, lengthen, lift those hips. Bend the knees, draw a carriage in. And 2. Squeezing those glutes at the top. Good. We're here for another 2 more here, then we'll add those sweeps. 1 more here. Let's press hold. Let's sweep the ring down to the left side. Exhale, sweep it up. Bend the knees, draw the carriage in. Press it out, sweep. Over, keeping those hips nice and still from where you really want to feel these in your left oblique as much as you can. Sweeping it down and wringing out the waist, sweeping it up. Draw it in. I really feel my obliques with this exercise. I love it. Sweep it down. Wring out the waist. Sweep it up. We've got 3 more. In 2. 1 more here. We've just got those sweeps here to end. Inhale, lower. Exhale, sweep it center. And again, 2. And center. Three more here, guys. 3 more sweeps. Squeeze those glutes. Squeeze those abs. Deep breaths. 2. 1 more here. And sweep it up. Bend the knees. Draw it in. Whoo. Place that loop back down on the hooks. Roll those shoulders back and down. Really nice, guys. You are done with this ring. Place it down and we're going to pop on your box. So if you've got your box handy, I should have mentioned that at the beginning of class, so my apologies for that. We're going to pop your long box down and then you're going to place on just one blue spring. We're going to do a quick little single leg, single arm exercises here to finish off class. So we are going to go into some kickbacks first and then some tricep work. So let's start popping on your left long loop. You can if you've got it handy. I've just got a short loop on. Pop the loop over your left foot and then walk those knees back. All right, those shoulders, those hands are going to be underneath those shoulders. Those knees are underneath those hips. You're in a nice neutral spine. Your right knee is kind of closer to the left side of the box, maybe more so in the center to the left. And then when you're ready, you're going to press that left leg straight back. Flex through the foot. You're going to bend the knee in and press it out for 10. Bend it in. Press it out. Squeeze. 9. 8. I'm going to walk my knee back a little bit. 7. 5. 4. 3 more. 2. 1 more here. Lengthen the left leg. Hold. Point the foot. Sweep the leg down on the diagonal. Keep that neutral spine. Sweep it up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, sweep up. 5. 5 more sweeps here. For 4. Squeezing that left glute as you lift. Into. 1 more here, lower. Lift it up and then draw it in. Beautiful, guys. Now, when you're ready, take off that loop. We're going to stay on that same blue spring here. Holding the edge of the loop here. Keeping those knees underneath those hips. When you're ready, we're going to sweep that left arm up to the hips. Inhale, lower down. Should have popped down that foot bar, but that's okay. I'll just point the feet. 3. Sweeping those arms down and up. 5 more sweeps. And 4. For 3. Palm faces up towards the sky. 2. 1 more here. Final 10 reps on this side. Bend the elbow. Tricep kick back. 10. Squeeze those abs. You got it, guys. 9. Stay with me. Looking straight down into the headrest. 5 more. 3 more here. 1 more here. Press it. Bend it in. Good job. Woo. Walk those knees forward a little bit. Drop the loop and then just take a little shell stretch here over the box. Whoo. Triceps are on fire. Alrighty, guys, we just have that right side to go. So let's grab that right loop here, walk those knees back. And then when you're ready, place that right loop on your right foot. All right, guys, we got this. Walk those knees back a little bit. When you're ready, we have those kick backs. You're going to press that right leg straight back. Inhale, draw it in. Try to keep those hips as squared off as possible. It's really hard for me because my hips are quite wonky from my spine. So I really have to go slow and really, really think about my hips with any single leg exercises. 5 more. And 3. 1 more here. Let's sweep it down to the diagonal and sweep it up. Use those obliques here, guys. Keep that neutral spine. Try not to round the spine as you lower the leg. 5 more. For 5. Stay with that breath. Lift those abs. Into. 1 more here. Lower down. Exhale. Sweep it up. Bend the knee in. Whew. Felt those hamstrings on that one. Okay. We just have those triceps on this right side, guys. So when you're ready, walk those knees back again. You're on all fours. Point through the toes if you need, if you've got that foot bar up like I do. And when you're ready, let's sweep the right arm up to the hip and then draw it in. Stay straight for the first 10. Then we'll go into those kickbacks. Here for 6. For 5. 3 more for 3. And 2. 1 more here, guys. Press it back and hold. Bend the elbow. Tricep kick back for 10. Keep the elbow tight towards the ribs. Deep breaths. 5 more. You got it. Bend and press for 5. For 4. Oh, 3 more. Back my arms. And 2. 1 more here. Lengthen. Draw it all the way in. Walk those knees forward. Pop the loop on the hooks. Oh, we're done, guys. Good job. I'm going to first have you just go into a nice tricep overhead stretch. Bring your left arm overhead and then grab your left elbow with your right hand, stretching out the back of the arm. And switch sides. Perfect. And then let's just quickly go into a nice glute stretch. So a little pigeon on the long box here. Pop your left leg down onto the box in a 90-degree angle, and then bring those hands over the box, stretch out those glutes. I really love this elevated pigeon pose. It helps me feel the glutes a little bit more than when I'm on the ground. And this reformer that I have is with this box, it's the perfect height for me. Perfect. And then when you're ready, let's switch sides. Bring your right leg up on the box, flex through the right toes, then reach those arms over the box. Slowing down the breath. And then slowly walking all the way up. Good job, guys. Today's class is done. I hope you had a great time. My triceps are done. And I will see you in the next class. Bye, guys.